This channel will have two sides to it: suspenseful creepypastas and true creepy stories. The other side will be advice, as this might seem a little bipolar, but both are things I am interested in. If I say that I don't have permission to use a thread or story off of Reddit, it is because I could not contact them. Please note I am rehashing the creepy stories for entertainment and in some cases to educate and reassure people. Therefore, I understand that the original poster may ask to have their work removed from my channel. If that is the case, and you are offended, I will remove it within 24 hours unless I am literally unable to either receive the complaint or have no access to a computer. I do hope to post 2 types of videos each day, which means 2 videos total. One for the darker, creepy stories, and the other for advice. Creepy true stories might be featured a little more than the advice since I need reader feedback for it. In a few months, I plan on making a countdown of the creepy videos in each category, so please like the ones you want to vote for. It makes the poll work. The first story, My Name is Gray, by Dylan4380. So I had just got done working a 12-hour overnight shift. I got off at about 10 a.m. and I needed to go and get new shoes. The ones I had been destroyed. I went to the mall about 20 minutes away from my house. The shoe store isn't open just yet, so I'm walking around killing time. I find this game I used to play as a kid. I put $1 in it. And then I realized it is $2 to play and I didn't have any more cash. It wouldn't give me my change back, so at this point I'm about to walk away. Then I realize this older guy, 50 to 60 years old, is staring at me. I tell him if he has $1 he can play it because I can't get my change back. He tells me he's never seen it played, so he gave me $1 to try. So I play. I lose. From there on, we started making small talk, and he says his name is Gray. At this point, I don't get a creepy feeling, and honestly, I'm not really awake, so I'm just standing there talking to him. We talk for a maximum of 20 minutes about random shit. After this, he asks me to go grab a beer with him, and I said I wasn't 21, and I needed to go get shoes still. He said that's no problem, we can go to the liquor store and drink in his car, and I could just meet him at that game after I get shoes. I said okay, and as I walked into the store, I got this terrible feeling that I couldn't shake. Maybe it was him patting me on the back, or touching my shoulder, or just the look in his eyes. Not to mention, it wasn't even noon. Instead of stopping at the shoe store, I just left. Second story. So I had this mega-horrifying dream, and it was stuck in my head until I wrote it down. Here it is, by Baneroson. I am pretty scared that my mind came up with something like this. Understand that I don't like horror-based anything. I wrote it down as best I could. It was the only way I could get it out of my head. Here it is. My chest throbbed dully, a pain that aches loudly but must be set aside to be able to think. I felt like the bandages on my chest were too tight, but I couldn't feel anything save for the pain. Someone, their importance forgotten to me in my misery, spoke. Are your bandages too tight? Shall I change them? I didn't feel the hands that touched me, only the weight that pushed and pulled my aching body into a sitting position. I dimly felt a release of pressure on my chest. Then the smell of blood and marrow and sweaty, sickly flesh. God help you, the stranger murmured under their breath. I could hear the horror and disgust, but my weakened state left me untouchable to their depth. I looked down upon my chest to see my ribs stark and plain, open to the air, and rotting. Bones, cracked and splintered, shone bright against the practically dried blood that surrounded them. My pain and misery was palpable, and the air in the room struggled to contain it. I can't breathe. So my scream was silent as it echoed in the depths of my mind. My hands clenched and unclenched violently, and warm tears of fear and outright horror stained my face with silver. I watched, helpless, as my unknown caretaker reached for a rod, gleaming steel with a small swoop on one end. As my mind reeled away, and my contained horror found new depths inside me, they reached into my wound with the rod and scraped the dried blood off the splintered ends of my ribs. Pain, such as one should never be forced to feel, blew white-hot at the core of my being. I heard a skitter, buzz, a gasp of shock. My eyes watched, unblinking, as dozens of small parasites crawled out of my chest cavity. I blacked out, awaking at incredibly horrifying moments. The bugs hovered always, torturing me with their vision of filling my chest cavity. I wished I could move, could rub my skin free of their touch, but I could not. I tried vainly and failed. I willed my body to die, to rest eternally. It stubbornly refused me, groping and straining at my meager existence. The pain never lifted, and sleep provided only brief respites. My mind recorded, and my body decayed. If death could save me, it selfishly kept its heroisms to itself. The coma, along with the pain and the horror, held on to me for months. Until finally, my caretaker made a mistake and opened my wound too far. The pain was welcomed for once, as it finally led my mind to its last resting place. So the third story and the last story. A chilling discovery inside my head by Call Me a Door. Hello Reddit. I have made a discovery inside my head. I was not sure where else to post this. I'm a new Redditor. But I just had to get it off my chest. You know that static in your head? Many people are aware of it. Most are not. Few know its true origin, yet all experience it, at least on a subconscious level. It's that white noise present when you put down the electronics and aren't distracted. I first remember discovering it when I was a child of 5 or 6. Oddly enough, I was alone in the bathroom when I noticed it. And as I listened, it became clearer, more profound. I can hear it even now, as you might by now. Though the many years since that discovery, I've noticed something. The more I think about it and try to make it out, the crisper it becomes. Recently, I have heard a few gargled words, mixed in with the monotonous nonsense. I have heard different words, but was only able to grasp one: my name. I had connected these noises and words to another phenomena, namely, being sure you've heard your name spoken out loud. Yet, not being able to find the source of the voice, perhaps there is a connection, perhaps not. All I know is that once you find the voices are there, the voices find that you are there. I know you can pick any YouTuber to watch, so I just wanted to thank you for picking one of my videos. Hope it didn't scare you to death.